Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our January 2018 customer webinar. Today, Susan Bell, BLOX OTT Product Manager, will show you how our new over-the-top app suite can help you grow your audience with branded channels on all of the major streaming platforms, including Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. She'll discuss what OTT is, how to populate your channel with high-quality homegrown and community-sourced video, and how to turn your channel into a powerful driver of new revenue. I'm Aaron Gillette, Marketing Director at TownNews.com, and in the room we also have Cherry Wolf, Marketing Specialist at TownNews.com, and Teresa Nelson, Director of Business Development. The presentation will take about 30 minutes and a Q&A will follow. At any point you can type a question into the chat box, but we'll hold off on answering them until the end. Take it away, Susan.
We're going to go ahead and dive in. Today we're going to talk a little bit about what OTT is to begin with. A lot of times we throw these terminologies around and we don't take the time to kind of stop and explain what all of these things mean. So over-the-top streaming services are really any streaming services that are not associated with a subscription model. And this is our traditional cable subscriptions, such as Comcast. So really for OTT, all you need is an internet service. We often hear terms like cord cutters, and that is what that means. People who just watch streaming services through their internet service. These platforms that we're going to look at today, because of this digital delivery of video, really create an opportunity for publishers to participate in TV and broadcasters to continue expanding their audience. One thing that I want to keep in mind before we dive in is as we move through this demo, to keep in mind that the consumer experience is that of traditional television, meaning that families and friends are gathered around a big screen television. So what we're looking at today is the different kinds of streaming devices that are out there, and then we will take a peek at specifically what we are developing for. There are two different types of streaming devices. One is digital. Computer, smartphones, and tablets are all considered streaming devices, but not OTT. OTT streaming is specifically going to be streaming boxes and sticks, smart TVs, game consoles, DVR setup box tops, and internet Blu-ray player. We are going to be looking at streaming boxes and sticks and smart televisions today. So why OTT? And really the simple question, or the answer to that question is, we've seen over the past few years a significant increase in audience and a business model to drive your revenue from your legacy business. So I kind of wanted to take you through a couple of statistics to show you the significance of the audience and growth that OTT has had over the past 4 or 5 years. Over half of U.S. households are connected to streaming devices. Over 50, and those streaming devices is that long list of devices we went over. That does include desktop and phones. So over 51 million of those streaming services use OTT specifically. And this data is coming from April 2017. Over 38 million of those households use streaming sticks and boxes. And we're going to go over what those sticks and boxes are here on the next slide. 49 hours per month is an average household viewership of OTT content, which averages out to be about 1.7 hours a day. We've seen those numbers grow from about 20 minutes a day to over an hour and a half over the past 2 years. The chart there on the right, I wanted to show specifically that begins in 2014, which is when OTT really kind of took the stage. If you'll see that this chart looks at mobile, desktop, TV, radio, newspapers, magazines, and OTT. So everybody is either kind of remaining flat, seeing a little decrease, and then we have two areas of media consumption that are growing, and that is mobile and that is OTT. So having a little bit of background on what OTT is and how many people are using it, I wanted to take you through our suite features. And then take a look at the different platforms that we develop for and offer. So our suite features are your branding. All of our platforms are highly customizable. Your colors, your brand, your content, multiple ways to showcase content. There are two sections in here. One is a live linear section, live linear video, and video on demand. Live linear, I just wanted to give a quick definition of that. It doesn't mean that it's actually a live event. What it means is that live content that is watched as scheduled. So we're all very familiar with that experience through those subscription devices such as broadcast television. So the viewer joins you. Appointment television is what we like to call that. Video on demand is a pre-recorded video that a consumer chooses the time to interact or watch the video, something always available for the viewer. In the video on demand categories, one thing that we thought was highly important, because again, I'm going to reference kind of friends and family sitting around the TV, is we wanted to make sure that people were not having to engage with a remote control any more than possible. So in each video on demand category, there is a play off functionality in there, and that will take them through all the videos in a particular category, so they can have that sit back experience. Our suites do feature ad serving, pre-roll, and third-party tags. We are fully integrated with DoubleClick Publisher, DFP, for you to run pre-rolls. Our pre-rolls can be targeted. Anything that DFP can do can be served to OTT. So you can target categories specifically. You can even target platforms specifically. So you could have an advertiser specifically for Apple TV versus Roku TV. We have detailed analytics. We are integrated with Google Analytics as of late December. So that rolls right back into a Google Analytics dashboard that most people are operating with now. If not, then we can get that set up for you, which kind of moves into our full service support. So we pride ourselves in not being just a technology company, but really walking you through all these processes, you know, what plays best, what looks best, what content is going to play well with the audience, and what gets the most attraction. We also will help you set up your analytics. We also go through store submission processes with you. So we just don't give you some sort of a template and leave you with that. So those are our suite features, and I wanted to talk a few minutes about our available platforms. All those features are available on all the different platforms. So right now we have a suite package that consists of Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and recently Android TV. We do have a complimentary mobile iOS and Android that come along with that. And did want to explain a little bit about why we offer mobile with the TV packages. iOS does have AirPlay, so you can AirPlay to the television. Android mobile does have Chromecasting, so you can cast to the TV. We did that not to compete with branded apps that you probably already have, but so that everyone could participate. You could capture as much of that audience as you can for your video. So the content on the mobile devices mirrors the content that are on the TV platforms. So it is a video-centric mobile app. We have also found that the mobile technology makes a really good sales tool when trying to sell OTT to clients, so that you have something to show them. Wanted to take you through a couple of screens to kind of give you a real-life look at what these platforms look like. Our Roku and our Amazon Fire TV are identical. They mirror each other, and then Apple has a little bit different of a layout. The screen that we're looking at here features the Watch Live section. This is that Watch linear section. You can have a single linear stream on here, or you can have multiple linear streams on here. It does support that. Some people have had lots of success with camera networks and live radar, sporting events that are specific. So those live events can be added to the section and taken away, and you actually have control of that internally in your operation. And we help you get all of that set up. This features one of the video on demand categories. So on the left-hand side of the screen, we're looking at our our high-level menu, the Watch Live, News on Demand, Getting Results, Series and Shows. So the category posters that you see on in the middle of the screen, the Flashpoint, Click Orlando, Veterans Voice, Space News and Launches, those are all different categories. The subcategories, as we'll refer to them here, are limitless. You can have as many as you want, and you can have up to 13 categories on that left-hand menu there. So once you select a subcategory within a high-level menu navigation item, you go to a screen and it allows you to see all the different videos that are available in that category. Again, it does have that watch all placeholder, which is at the beginning. So if you simply click on that first placeholder, it actually will take you through all of the videos uninterrupted, which is a nice feature. This is Apple TV. The big difference between Apple and Roku and Fire is that the menu is across the top, but it all functions the same thing. It all functions the same way. So this is going to feature all those same subcategories that we were just looking at. And then once you go into a subcategory, here is what the video clips look like. And this actually, this is a different client that had only one linear section. So when you click on Watch Now, instead of it taking into an intermediate screen where you get to select what Live Now, if you only have one, when you click this category on your screen, it just launches directly into your live linear stream. Again, the kind of goal here is to make sure that consumers are having to interact with remote control as least as possible. So growing your audience and growing your revenue, those two Y's of OTT are we're going to dive into now. Opportunities with OTT and growing your audience, increasing your video engagement. These are video-centric platforms. It reaches audiences outside your current markets and subscribers. Specifically with publishers and broadcasters, we are used to operating within a DMA or a circulation. These products are national, so you can take your content where maybe you were only putting it on your website now, and you really can have a national TV product. Discovery, rediscovery, or extension of your legacy brand. These OTT platforms are a great way to get your brands out in front of an audience outside of your market as well. Maintain and defend market position, which we're all trying to do on all new distribution platforms. We do have to be innovative in the media industry to be able to capture the audience as they change behaviors. And OTT is definitely that next audience behavior that we're all trying to capture. Building new and niche products. One thing that is great with OTT is we are all kind of working with the technology growth. So there's always new advancements all the time on here that we get to offer our audience. OTT is also a way to engage with your community. There are a lot of people, this is still fairly new in our industry, and there are a lot of people that may have great video content and know where to play it and don't know how to distribute it, but trust your legacy brand and trust your market position. Then you can kind of you can create different channels within your channel, different categories within your channel, and you can actually showcase some of that video for your community partners. So, and that really kind of sets you up to become the go-to channel on OTT, not only in your community, but as far as the eye can see. Talk a little bit about driving revenue. There's kind of two areas. You can do a subscription model, and you can offer services that come along with your OTT. We were talking a little bit about being that community aggregator. You can also become your community video production service for that aggregation and offer paid services to help people grow their video distribution, and then your content distribution, which would then be taking that video and distributing it across these platforms for your community partners. So specifically for each individual brand, the advertising opportunities in there, we discussed pre-roll video advertising, and that's going to be your integration through DFP. We really harp on sponsorships, which is really out of the gate the best way to sell OTT as you are growing an audience on these platforms. Sponsorships work really well, especially in the broadcast industry and in the publishing industry. We are used to sponsorships. Everything on these platforms are dynamic. Poster images, which you see here, you can always include a sponsorship logo on there, a client logo on there. They're very easy to change in and out so that we still have some familiarity with how we're offering sponsorships connected to a commercial video. If people don't have commercial video to participate in the DFP space, then that sponsorship logo is also a really great way to still get them on the platform and to be able to generate revenue. Sponsored content, and which we just went over, programmatic ad insertion, and that is kind of what this industry is trying to figure out right now. Programmatic ad insertion through DFP works just like your remnant ads do. So you're able to take those third-party ads and you're able to plug those into your channel, and those tap into your unsold inventory as you get started. Spot advertising and commercial insertion is something that can happen in your live linear section, much like broadcast TV that has commercial blocks. When you're watching on TV, spot advertising, commercial insertion would happen the same way in your live linear section. Native advertising is what we see an example of here on the right-hand side of the screen. Native advertising is a great way to get advertising messages out in a non-commercial format. So you can have, for example, over here, this KSL Drive. This is actually a do-it-yourself section. They have KSL Drive, do-it-yourself, style and tech, food and entertainment, which features restaurants and things to do. This is actually in the Salt Lake City area. All that is paid content, and they offer those up in 2 to 3 minute formats. They actually go in and shoot those, or the client provides those, and it fills out one of these category spaces. So not using the DFP technology, this is a great way for a revenue generator on your platform. I wanted to be able to give everybody a couple of examples of things that you can go and download so that you can look at these products. I know it's kind of hard to get a feel of it through just looking at a couple of screenshots, but KSL, who we were just looking at, if you just simply go into Fire or Apple or Roku, you can actually download any of these partners here, which are a really great way to kind of experience the OTT platform, kind of see what the technology does, and really kind of get a feel of the OTT in general. So takeaways from this really are, becoming the next go-to OTT channel for your local community, being able to expand your audience and really drive revenue. That revenue is super important because it is the reason that we venture off into these new platforms and new technologies. So that was kind of a very, very quick overview. One thing that I did want to mention that I didn't mention at the beginning is we do offer geolocation services on these platforms as well. So if you still had a want or desire to lock down your content for only a particular area, that is possible on these as well. Our best practices are to try to get that national audience so that you have as much inventory to sell as possible, but you can lock it down to your DMA or your circulation.
We do have a number of questions. Now would be a great time to type a question into the question box if you have one. I'll start working through them. First question, is the stream RTMP, real-time messaging protocol?
In the live linear section, yes. So the live linear section operates in a HLS environment. So any kind of HLS stream it can support.
Okay. How do we populate or manage the VOD channels and content? Is the OTT suite integrated with BLOX CMS or is it outside of BLOX CMS?
That's a great question. So, and I'll hit on the live linear there too, because it's two separate services. Video on demand is generated through a video management system. So we are able to work with any video management system that is out there. And if you don't have one, then we can get you set up on one. The live linear section is managed through a live stream provider. So you have those two different management systems on the back end. And we just work with those different providers to pull the content.
Okay. If I'm a regular online publisher, but I'm producing video regularly for YouTube or online, can I just repurpose that for OTT, or are there requirements like resolution differences that are different?
If you are publishing video for YouTube, YouTube typically is high resolution. One thing that publishers do have to take a peek at if you're only producing video for your websites and mobile is the resolution is higher. So we are operating in a 720p environment, which is going to be broadcast quality.
Okay. Is the webinar being recorded? Yes, the webinar is being recorded, and we will process that this afternoon, and it will probably be posted to the website either later this afternoon or tomorrow. And then we'll send out a message to the email list letting you know when that recording is available so you can share it with others. Does each platform use its own ad serving platform? Can we, each platform, I'd imagine, being the different Roku, Apple, and Fire devices, do they each use their own ad serving platforms?
They all use, we have, the ad serving is coded in all the platforms. They all use the DFP engine. So it is, you provide one DFP tag and we plug it in everywhere for you. So you're not having to do 3 times as work. You just set up your campaigns and then we pull those and distribute them everywhere.
Okay, can we book locally sold campaigns, or is this mainly a programmatic or network opportunity?
It's highly recommended to book local campaigns. That's really going to be the driving revenue source for this. You know, the national, kind of your regional and national kind of programmatic ads in there require a particular amount of inventory. That's how those set up, and that's how you're paid on those. So specifically for the first 12 months, you're going to make more money off of your local campaigns.
Okay. Does Apple, Roku, or the other providers, do they take a share of the advertising or subscription revenue?
Great question. Apple TV, no. Amazon Fire TV, no. And as of right now, Roku does not take any of your inventory. You do have to sign an agreement when we kind of set up your store account that one day down the road that they might tap into that inventory, but we have not seen them do that as of today.
We have a couple of questions about the pricing for the platform. Please contact your sales representative, and they can give you the full rundown of the pricing structure for BLOX OTT. What analytics will be available to help us define and measure success?
Well, I mentioned before that this is integrated with Google Analytics. And we look at, we've spent the last few years actually really working on what metrics are important to be able to measure the platforms and also to be able to hand those to clients. So we look at, on the live linear, we look at how long people are spending on their live, on the linear stream and what time of day. It is not program specific yet, but that is something that we are working on. In the video demand section, you can tell, what category that they're on, if they completed the video, how long they're spending on the platform per session. You can get download numbers, but really we really concentrate on how long people are spending on the platform and what they're looking at.
Okay. Is there recommended pricing on OTT advertising or native content?
We work specifically with you as we go through to set this up, and we actually do have some sales best practices that we share with you to get that pricing model set up. I will tell you that it varies depending on what you're used to charging in your market or what you're comfortable marketing. So there's quite a big differentiation of where people start with this, but we actually do come in and help you get that set up.
I've seen some OTT literature mention podcasting as a feature. Can you give any information on podcasting?
Yes, and that's a good question. And I actually can't believe that I actually left that out. But we actually do have podcasting that is available on all three platforms, and it's also available on the mobile devices. The best example of that on your mobile and on your platforms, it is if you will download KSL, you can see those podcasting features. I think they have like 105 different podcast categories. And there is pre-roll functionality and coming for those as well.
What direct support is available from townnews.com to get up and running with OTT?
We have a whole onboarding procedure, so we walk you through every step of the way.
Are there any future designs to integrate live stream technology directly into the BLOX system that would present itself similarly to Facebook live streams without the need of a streaming service?
We are definitely looking at options to be able to support live streaming and video on demand. The BLOX interaction that will unveil later this year will be a dashboard interface for the client side.
Can it be fed into a head end?
So this is the live linear stream is what we're really talking about for head-end integration. So it is of broadcast quality, and you can, if your stream is programmed out, and that would be a 24/7 stream with no interruption in there, it would have to meet specifications for cable providers, such as closed captioning. You have to feed closed captioning to them. But yes, it is ready to go. If you can meet all the specifications for the head ends, then the stream is ready to go.
Our local head end supports 5,000 subscribers. We supply them a news channel currently locally 24/7, but would like to send a feed from outside the country rather than in country. Could you support us with a play out?
Yes, we can provide that second stream infrastructure for you. You would need another encoder and some things, some infrastructure set up. But yes, and the stream itself, if you only wanted to provide it out of the country, then there are geolocation services that we could put on the stream so that you can't see it in the United States, so you can only see it in a particular region out of the country. So our geolocation services work on a radius, and whatever we can put whatever radius in there that you would like. It would be a separate stream that you're providing to your local head ends right now, though.
If our channel currently gets distributed by a local head end, how do we send the OTT content to them for distribution? Or will we go OTT directly to the end client? They currently pay for cable, internet, mobile phone. Will this cost more in bandwidth?
So the OTT stream is a separate stream than you're sending to your local head end. You can take that HLS stream, any HLS stream, we're just basically taking that and pointing it directly to the OTT platforms. And that is a direct to end consumer situation. You can use the same stream you're providing your head end as long as you can get it in IP delivery, which is that HLS stream. Then you can point it anywhere. You just have to have the rights to all the content that you're playing. But this wouldn't be distributed on your cable channels unless you set that up with your cable channels. So this would be a separate stream, and it would create more bandwidth use. Yes.
Okay, thank you. There are many ways to stay connected with us. For documentation, you can visit help.bloxcms.com, and support, please call 800-293-9576 or visit support.townnews.com. The partner community is a great place to share information and with other customers, and you can do that at community.townnews.com. And of course, we have a variety of email newsletters and different email communiques that you can sign up for by visiting townnews.com, clicking news, and on the right-hand sidebar, you can sign up for our newsletters. And of course, for pricing and information on how to get started, please contact your salesperson today. Thank you, Susan, for all of for this great rundown of BLOX OTT, and we will talk to you again in February. Thanks.